Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Halifax Oasis, and thank you for another edition of our interviews we're doing with our county government. Today, I'm so pleased to bring you Mr. Brian Brown, who is the Executive Director of the Industrial Development Authority. Mr. Brown, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. If you'd start, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, well, I grew up in Buena Vista, Virginia, which is about 2 hours away. I got into, originally out of college, went to college at Longwood University, got my first degree there, my second degree at Liberty University, and got into working in the media to start off with. My first 6 years of my career, almost 7 years of my career, was in the media. And from there, I was going to move to another area, and one of the members of the board of supervisors said, "Hey, would you come work for my company?" And I interviewed, and eventually I laughed. I landed a job with them to do government relations work for 7 years in the private sector, working in the economic development arena and a brownfield redevelopment arena. From there, I went to work for economic development in the public sector, running Roanoke City Economic Development for 3 years.
Where was this at?
This was Roanoke City, Virginia.
Okay.
So, fairly large economic development office. We ran 9 different departments within the arena of economic development.
What kind of departments would those be?
Leasing, all city leasing was done through the economic development office. We did housing relocation within the economic development office. We managed the conference center at the Hotel Roanoke. It was part of our office. We managed parking in all of downtown.
Gotcha.
So we actually did the business retention and attraction. We did small business development. We had a little bit of everything that we touched. So if it was all in economic development, we were involved in some way. We did all of the leasing for all city buildings.
Gotcha.
So all of those things fit into that arena.
And how long were you at that?
A little over 3 years.
And did the needle go up?
Yes, it did.
Awesome.
We had a lot of downtown development occur during the time that I was there.
Great.
From there, I got the entrepreneurial itch, and with a friend, opened a company. We will continue to grow a company called Proto Security. That company's still doing very well today. They're still good friends that I'm very happy to see their growth and development. But I decided to go back into local government and work for the city of Buena Vista, my hometown. Went back there for another 6 or so years of time in the development world. And again, when I got there, it was kind of interesting. They were in a very low point. They didn't tell me how low a point when I first got there, but it was they were at a point the city was borrowing money to make payroll.
Oh, wow.
So
that's low.
Yeah, we had nowhere to go, but I tried to save it up. Their main water source had fallen under surface water influence. They had no money for development, for no water for development. They defaulted on the first ever municipal bond in Virginia history the day I started the job.
Oh my God.
I jokingly said, "Be careful." I said, "I always wanted to be in the Wall Street Journal. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it."
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of my time with them.
And why didn't you run?
Oh, no. Well, it's your hometown. You want to see great things happen.
Okay.
And, we fought and called. I jokingly said my first economic development speech I gave, I entitled "The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly." And it was.
Right.
But it allowed people to come and hear what the problems were. And actually, that was the first pieces of really creating partnerships to really look at solving problems that we try to do, that I still try to use today, even here in Halifax County, how we go about solving problems. And again, there's always people willing to help. It's helping them to understand how they can help.
Right.
That's a key piece to the growth and development.
Right.
But during that time, we were able to increase manufacturing jobs by 75% during that 6-year period.
Wow. What specific manufacturing type jobs?
They were advanced manufacturing and metals manufacturing, HVAC, component development.
And exactly how did you do that?
Well, we worked closely with the Workforce Development Board. I served on that Workforce Development Board up in Shenandoah Valley. We got a on-the-job training grant and actually worked to help with that $5 million to help the companies hire new people for their opportunities to come and work there. When I got there, they had a net negative migration of about 900 people that were leaving versus coming into the town to work, which means less restaurant. It means the money's flowing out. It's not coming in as much.
Right.
We were able to cut that in half during the period that I was there.
Wow. Okay.
And then I left there again to go back into the private world, into the development world, working at commercial development for a private entity called Countryside Service Company.
And where was this at?
That was in Stanton area.
Okay.
So from there, I spent 2 years, and this opportunity came about to be the IDA director the first time I was here. This is my second stint as the IDA director.
Okay. Tell me more.
The first time didn't go as well as we would like to have went. I got sick. That was part of it. And,
Right.
Therefore, after they did let me go. It's one of those times in life that I think they probably saved my life by letting me go. So as I've told them, most of them individually since that occurred.
Right. And what year was this?
That would have been 6 years ago.
Okay.
So right around that time frame. But I was basically in bed for about 9 months before I got healthy again.
Wow.
So when I got healthy, I still had my economic development itch and decided to work for a nonprofit helping create a 7-state business services program where I designed 31 different business courses and taught them across multiple states, helping individual businesses grow and develop.
And what company was this?
CERCA, Southeastern Rural Community Action Program.
Is that something with the state?
No, that's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit. You said that's right.
And that was out of Roanoke, Virginia.
Out of Roanoke. Okay.
But I was still living here.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
So you commuted.
I traveled.
Right.
When I
A lot.
for those years, yes, I did.
Right.
And then they appointed me to the board here, and then after the resignations that occurred in December of last year, I started out as an emergency director for free for the first 2 months I worked here. Mm-hmm. And then I decided when they asked me to take on the interim role, and eventually now the full director's role since July of this year.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a little bit background.
Okay, so you've been doing in this current position now since July.
Yes, but if you count the interim time, since February.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. So we're pushing a year.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, that just opened up about 5,000 questions.
It's been a unique career, I like to say.
Well, there's been a lot of controversy in this county involving the Board of Supervisors, the IDA, et cetera. And you've touched on some of those things. And I know that you can't talk about staffing details. I get all that. But maybe you could give me some type of nebulous answer of what happened. Because it's like you had to become the emergency director. Why? Why did the other person leave? Why did the people who were on the board vacate, et cetera? It was a big tumultuous time.
It was.
And everybody wants to know why.
The director made her decision to leave. She announced she was leaving in November and gave a 1-month notice and finished up on the 15th of December.
Right.
So during that time, 5 of the board members also tendered their resignations in staggered form.
Because she left? Different reasons?
I think there was just some conflicts between the boards at that point.
Okay. Between which boards?
Between the board of supervisors and the IDA.
And
the former IDA board. And again, things happen for a reason. It was one of the things we had to rebuild.
So it was kind of like a clean sweep.
Only one member of that board is still on this board. And that is our chairman, Ryland Clark.
That'd be Ryland, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so... Because it sounds like everyone just kind of followed the executive director at the time, which was Christy, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, I don't know the reasons why they made the decisions, but again, it was a thing that we took it and regrew it from here.
Yeah.
The IDA, former IDA board, I will never say anything negative about because they did a good job. They did a lot of things well. They set us up for successes that we've had.
Right.
Again.
But there was some conflict with the board that caused a mass exodus. That's what everybody's curious about, and you either don't know or can't address it, probably, I'm assuming.
I don't know their individual reasons.
Okay.
And it would not be my position to tell them.
Gotcha. Was former county administrator Scott Simpson, he was one of those board members, wasn't he?
Scott was an ex officio. He stayed on this board for several months until they relieved him of this position.
On the board of supervisors.
He was also on this board as an ex officio member.
What's an ex officio?
A non-voting member. He was the person taking back information to the board.
Oh,
things that
I
go along with this
understand.
board.
Oh, so that would have all happened at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, I
In fact,
understand.
Ron Gray, our new county administrator, is the new ex officio member for the county and now on our board.
Right. I just interviewed him a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
and that was one thing that prompted me to ask you when you said you went to the job and was overwhelmed. Why didn't you run? That's what I wonder about him. I'm worried he's a little overwhelmed because he's just had a lot on him at the same time, like you described.
The challenge is fun. Again, we rebuilt the board, and we actually, I love the way we were able to build the board because it allowed us to look at what are the skill sets we're looking for board members.
Okay.
And we looked at it. We know we have housing needs, so we brought on a housing expert.
Excellent.
Earl Howerton,
Okay.
who runs Southside Community Outreach, and they do affordable housing.
Okay.
So having his expertise is phenomenal to this board. We looked in terms of small business entrepreneurial development. We brought on Lynn Height, who is the small business development center person for our region.
Mm-hmm.
He has a specific role to help us in terms of the entrepreneurial growth and development. We brought on a banker with Amy Barber. And that allowed
For what
us
reason?
to be able to look at the financials and all the financials we touch.
Okay.
We have Joel Medley, and Joel is a consultant who has done a lot of business efficiency and growth and development consulting for many industries.
Mm-hmm. So he's not specific to something like housing or banking, but he's a good catch-all for all of the putting the dots together. Okay.
And helping us with efficiency and growth and development.
Okay.
You also have Ty Barksdale, who has done a lot of procurement stuff and things like that to make sure that we're looking in terms of product development and growth and development.
Okay.
You have Rylan Clark, who is our chairman, but Rylan also has a high level of community involvement.
Everybody knows
Everybody Rylan knows people that I can't imagine. He knows everybody on the planet.
Exactly. I know you can pick up a rock. Hey, Ryland. There he is.
I love it for that point. But also, Rylan has a lot of background, extensive background in growth and development as well.
And he's young.
And is, as I say, he's not as young as he used to be.
I love that he's young. That's true. That's true. It's been a few years. That's true. That's true.
But Rylan has done an incredible job in his career, and it's been fun to watch him grow and develop and do the things he's doing now.
But he's authentic. That's I think what it. So that's 6 board members.
And the 7th board member is, and we have Jack Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack is a community leader. He has one of the larger congregations in the county, but he's a minister.
Oh, okay.
But he brings a great perspective of what people are hearing, what he hears from the community coming in.
Do you know what's he a pastor of?
Grace Baptist Church.
Okay.
But again, when you look at the things in this board, they work very well together, and it allows us to look at all things from a holistic approach. Mm-hmm. Because in economic development, there's more than just bringing industry. Mm-hmm. It's so much more to what we do. We have to look at it from the housing perspective. We have to look at it from now a child care perspective, some things that we're doing to improve those aspects of the county, a quality of life perspective. All of these things fit into how we grow and develop economic development.
Okay, you're getting way ahead of me here now.
Oh, absolutely.
Slow down.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you put together, or do you appoint these board members?
No, we actually, I did ask for some of them to be appointed, but the board of supervisors appoints our
board supervisor appoints them. Okay. But the IDA doesn't fall directly under the board of supervisors.
We are a quasi-government agency. We are chartered by the state of Virginia.
Right.
And we work as part of like the economic arm for the county.
But you partner, you don't take direction.
We like to say we work together. I won't say we take direction. I won't say we don't take direction. I'll say we listen very carefully what the board wants.
Sure.
We want to make sure we're meeting their goals and their objectives.
Sure, but that is not your primary directive.
Our directive is to increase the economic interest of the county through employment, through growth and development of industry, and through attraction of new industry.
Okay, and this is what I want to back up to. The function of because a lot of people don't even know what the IDA is. It stands for Industrial Development Authority, and it's very much what it says it is, and then some. So I want you to give me a good blanket description of what you do and how it umbrellas in the different progress for Halifax County? You said a lot, but you said
the best
detail.
thing to really describe an IDA in layman's terms is we're the liaison for business and industry to the local government and to the community.
Mm.
We help in terms of bringing incentives to the table to help them to grow and develop.
Do you actively go out to
Yes.
businesses and say, hey, come to our county, we're cool?
And we go to trade shows. I've been to 4 different
Oh.
trade shows this year.
Okay.
We work with workforce development and other things to make sure we have the people necessary to have the jobs in here to be able to grow and develop and have the skill sets necessary for for people to become successful in our community. Because our main goal is economic success for the individual, but also for the community. But we want the individual to have that success. If we can get the training pieces in place, we help in terms of getting the industries and what they're looking for, helping us to understand where to grow and develop. Again, your success, the individual worker's success, is the success of our county.
Right.
And the more we can increase their wages, the more we can increase their ability to have more people here, the more likely you're going to have small business growth and development and other things that go along with it. I generally say we're a liaison. We kind of do a little bit of everything. We tie into housing. We tie into child care. We tie into workforce development. We tie into attraction in itself. I mean, those are things we are here to do. That's kind of in a nutshell.
Well, and these are actually all the pieces that everyone's discussing about the Board of Supervisors. Mm-hmm. Because one of the complaints is that, or challenges, I'm sorry, I should say, youth are not staying, they're leaving. It's difficult to bring industry in, and it's because we lack housing, we lack childcare, we lack recreation. So what not everybody, but what the general public and citizenry and constituents of this county see this as a multi-puzzle piece, but they don't seem to understand what it's going to take to put these puzzle pieces together. Because again, there's been a lot of focus on controversy and not on what steps are being taken to solve the problems.
What people don't see is for the last 8 months that I've been in this position, every economic development vote in terms of any projects have been 8-0. There has been absolute no fights. There have been complete support of the Board of Supervisors, our board working closely together. I think at times it's the perception, sometimes more than reality, on some of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you start looking in terms of, like, Aperion X is one of our great companies that the last board attracted here, but we're helping to grow. We put a partnership in place. We own several buildings here in the county. And right now, for the first time we can say we're full in all of our buildings. In fact, we just made an offer to buy another building at the meeting last night. We talked about that a little bit. It's the Pacific Headwear building that closed. But the thing is, we're looking and a chance for another industry to expand or grow into that facility. So our job is to help facilitate that growth and development. Right. You look at some of the great companies we have here. The Hitachi announcement was like 2 years in the making, but it took a lot of pieces that not only from the last board, but our board today, how we moved forward and how we were able to grow and allow that project to occur. One of the big things that went into that, and it took the Board of Supervisors to be a key partner into this, was the housing component. We are putting a pledge of 96 workforce housing units as part of this project for Hitachi's growth. This is at 825 new jobs coming over the next 5 years and a $457 million investment into our community. Mm. That's a great, great benefit if you think about where we're going to do and how we grow. Mm. But these 96 housing units, the county put the land up.
Right, yeah, you aware of that.
And they also have helped us in terms of some additional pledges that will be $3 to $4 million of infrastructure development as it continues along the way with this project. Right. We, as the IDA, made the applications to the Tobacco Commission as well as to Virginia Housing. We've already secured $3 million towards that project. We hired the third-party community partner. We have community housing partners out of Christiansburg who are going to be the housing developer for the project. So we're working constantly behind the scenes with the state for the housing aspect piece of it, but also working with the board of supervisors behind the scenes that people don't see that we're doing to really help make sure this project occurs, to make sure that housing project is there for us to grow and develop our community. Because again, we want people living here.
Well, I asked Mr. Clark at one point, where are these 825 employees going to come from? Where are they going to stay? What are they going to do? And the concern is a lot of them will be out of county, and they'll get their paycheck here and take it and spend it out of the county.
And we're trying to find ways to lessen that happening.
Right.
And part of it is looking in terms of all of our housing. There was a housing study done by the Southside Planning District Commission for 23-24. And that housing study showed some things that we should be looking at for growth and development, which we're going to incorporate into the comprehensive plan update that we're doing right now.
When is that going to come out?
They're having meetings about it. We have not set a time of when it's going to go to public hearing, but we are still working and meeting on this.
And there will be a public hearing.
There eventually will be a public hearing, yes.
Okay. I want to be sure and get in on that.
So that's a key piece to the direction for the next 5 years of where our community is going.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was, when you think about that out-migration.
Oh, yes, I wrote that down. I wanted to ask you about that. You talked about, yes.
Vistas was 900. Our out-migration is 2,800. So if we can find ways to bring some of that 2,800 employees who are working outside of the area back into our industries.
Right.
That's a great boost for our small businesses.
Yes, but how long has that been a challenge for? Hasn't it been
it's
years?
It has, but it's one of the things that as we have these opportunities and as we continue to look at growing, we want to make sure we have people aligned to be able to get the jobs that are coming up.
And another piece of that would be training.
Absolutely. And when you think about workforce training, we have some great partners in this area. We have the Southside Community College, who has offered some incredible programs in the nursing arena, which of course healthcare is one of our bigger sectors. But we also have, truck driving. Distribution is still a major sector here for Halifax County. We have, the work's being done at ILR, the Advanced Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. And even now, the defense contracting training program.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
And that one is amazing. You start thinking about Carry X. They do a lot of defense contract work. Well, having them be able to use that program to go get people trained through that program is very, very important. It also helps them lead for growth and development.
But that's also in Danville, and we got a transportation issue.
Transportation is one of our challenges when it comes to training. But we don't want to duplicate everything. We want to have each area in our Southern Virginia region have strong partnerships in different pathways, and we can send people back and forth for training.
Right.
There are some funds that are available in certain, like the Workforce Development Board has some funds for transportation and training if people qualify. So those are the things that we look at.
Right.
And I hate that it's not in Halifax County, but I also understand we want to make sure we aren't duplicating. We want to make sure we're all able to use our skill sets to work together as a region.
Because a lot of what you're talking about comes under committees for the board and even the Chamber of Commerce. There's a lot of facilitating going on with that. Are you in tight communication with each of these pieces of the county, not just the board?
Yes, we are. We do. Of course, the Chamber's had a turnover as well.
Right.
So we're looking forward to working with the new director. I think she's going to do a great job.
I work with her. She's awesome. Yeah, she is.
We look forward to working closely with her. But I will tell you, we've looked at it from a child care perspective. I just had a meeting with their human resources committee, the different human resources directors for the different companies in our area. So we're talking about these things. We're talking about child care. We're talking about the issues at hand and how we can help to alleviate some of these concerns.
Right.
One of the things that we've done here as well is we've created a monthly meeting with 3 to 4 industries at a time, small group discussions to really get into the challenges that our industries are facing, whether it be workforce, whether it be that child care piece, whether it be a supplier that we're looking to bring closer, or are they having trouble with a regulatory issue. These are all things we want to hear from them when they come in and be able to talk frankly with us. And then in small groups, and opportunities for partnerships.
Right.
One of the more interesting ones that occurred was one of our industries was talking about having some training needs. Hitachi was doing training very similar, or had people within their training
So
center.
you're connecting.
So they're connecting and having
Right.
opportunities to work together back and forth.
Right.
So we have some incredible partners, whether it be the industry, whether it be the chamber, whether it be the towns. One of the things we worked out recently, we just met with both towns, and we'll be doing the new enterprise zone maps soon with that.
What's an enterprise zone?
That is actually one of our incentive programs that we have. The enterprise zone offers several incentives to businesses, whether it be industry or even smaller businesses. If you're spending more than $50,000, whether it be equipment improvements, whether it be building improvements, these are things that you can get some tax incentives back to allow, as you pay in, get rebating on some of those pieces.
Right.
Discounted building permit fees, which can add up very quickly. Those are all things that are offered through the enterprise zone. And it's a certain area that you're only allowed so much of the county to be in the enterprise zone. So we have areas.
How's that?
It's a state requirement. It's a state.
Okay.
It's a zone created by the state.
Okay.
And we, with the two towns, are all involved in that process. We're looking at the creation of a tourism zone right now for the county as well, where we can mirror a lot of those industrial development and enterprise zone benefits into that program, or maybe we could take some of the acreage that we had in the enterprise zone and expand it to other areas with the very similar things where we're trying to promote tourism-based business.
Mm-hmm.
So we work closely with tourism office as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So again, it's creating partnerships, which is the key aspect of where we are.
Well, it sounds like, that you're part of the foundation of what's going to make the progress occur, as are the other agents we talked about. And it sounds like you've established a good board. It's good that you're all cohesive and together and there's not any of this other stuff going on, and that they're experts in the area. I had a conversation with someone about all the committees that the county has, and it's not set up like this, but this is a great model. Networking, do all counties have an IDA?
They either have an EDA or IDA.
What's EDA?
Economic Development Authority.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Oh, okay. All right.
But things we're looking at, and the reason why, there's some other benefits of having the IDA.
Mm.
We're a industrial development bond conduit. So there's some opportunities for companies to be able to use industrial revenue bonds to be able to, have a tax exempt bonding program.
Where do you guys get your money to function? The state?
Well, our IDA is quite unique. We have a lot of buildings that bring in rent.
Okay.
So we're not completely self-sufficient.
That you just bought over the years?
Over the years.
And then you rent them out and get that as income. Okay, so that's interesting.
Now, the county does provide some funding for us. They do provide the incentives to come in from the county to the enterprise zone.
Right.
They give us $250,000 a year for our operations.
The state? Does the state for federal help?
No, we do have to go to some grants and things of that nature, but most of the time it's local.
How much staff do you have here? Actual staff?
We do this with two people.
What? Get out. So it's you and what?
And Monica, our office manager.
Office manager. Really?
Yes.
Wow. And I'm going to assume, is the board volunteer or they get a stipend?
The board is a volunteer board.
Wow. So you're on a shoestring too. You do a lot. You got a lot of responsibility for. Yeah.
But again, it just shows the commitment of the people who are on the board who want to see the growth and development occur.
Absolutely.
And you use the word that I'm doing is, I will tell you, I do nothing without the support of this great board and the board of supervisors.
Right.
And that's what has made this work so well for the last year, is the board of supervisors has been lockstep with the IDA and helping grow and develop.
Or for the last 8 months since you've been here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not long term.
But again, I will argue back, there may have been some blips in the last bit, but
right.
Even back before, the board of supervisors has always been supportive of
Yeah.
the growth and development of the IDA.
Yeah.
And the county. It's in all of our best interest to work together.
Sure.
And that's why this has been so much fun to come back and do it this time.
You know what you're describing to me? You're describing to me a family with minor dysfunction.
Of
maybe.
course.
You've got the board that's the daddy. You guys are the brother. The Chamber of Commerce is the sister. And that we got to figure this out to make progress. Okay. So let me pull back out for a minute. I understand that the Hitachi thing's big. It's a great deal. And how do you pronounce it again? Aperianex. That's been a big deal. But one concern could be, what if Hitachi left? You can't depend on them too much. What else is going to do? I mean, look at what Danville did. Boom, they got that casino. Look at what Mecklenburg did. Boom, they got that data center. You got to have backups.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I'm trying to do is in terms of diversification of our industry base.
Mm-hmm.
We actually just did a full rebranding of the IDA. We changed our tagline. It wasn't your bolder business. Now it's your partner for growth.
Okay.
And we're really looking for businesses closer to that 50 to 150 employee range.
Okay.
Because multiple reasons for that. One of the reasons for that is you don't put an overburden onto the school system at one time. It also allows us to have several of those type of industries. If we have 6 or 7 of those, a loss of one hurts, but that isn't catastrophic.
Right.
If you lost a 700, 800, 900 employee,
Hitachi would be catastrophic.
It's a catastrophic piece. So I got to make sure we have diversification, not only in just smaller industries, but across different sectors as well.
Okay, tell me about some that have gotten or are on the horizon for getting, or just...
Well, the great thing is we have 3 very unique pieces here that help us kind of, to position Halifax County. We have 3 great private, 2 private and 1 public partner. One next door is ChemQuest, and they can take any chemical process and break it down and can determine whether the process is something that can go to market. They can reverse engineer processes, and so they can do that across their client bases across the entire world.
Are they new?
No, they've been in this building, again, one of the best kept secrets in Halifax County.
And it's called ChemQuest?
ChemQuest.
Okay.
Right in this building.
And it's been here for years?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of it. I actually worked in this building at one time.
But that's a great partner because, again, we can help companies that are looking at new development, new product development, growth and development to come here and work with the ChemQuest.
How many employees do they have?
They have less than 20 here, but they have more across the entire country. But this is where they do a lot of the process work.
Okay. Well, speaking of your neighborhood right here, I know the VEC left, right? Is there something
That was
there
a
now?
call center.
Yeah, it was a call center. Is there something there now?
Yes, it's laboratories for Aperion-X.
Okay. I did. Oh, right, because it's right. Okay. All right. Didn't know that. Tell me about more new stuff or things we don't know about.
Well, I can't list names of companies individually, but I will say that we have multiple prospects that we're working on right now. Another one of our partners I wanted to clearly bring up is Mid-Atlantic Automation Solutions. Mm-hmm. This is a company that's a startup 3 years ago. And what they do is they design the conveyors and robotic systems to make assembly line product.
Is this related to Mid-Atlantic Broadband?
No.
And it's called Mid-Atlantic
Automation Solutions.
Automations? Do they use AI?
Well, they probably use some AI.
That's a big concern here,
Well, they use CNC machines. They use ability to reverse engineer process again, but they can actually manufacture short-run manufacturing for a company. If they have a new product they want to develop, they do short-run manufacturing. They can actually help design a machine that would build that product for them.
Is that here now?
It's here in Halifax County.
Where?
It's over at our Southern Virginia warehouse and distribution center.
I don't know where that's at.
Which is the old Daystrom facility.
I don't know where that's at.
Okay, it's off of Green Fox Road.
I know where that's at. Okay. RTP?
Yeah, RTP's
RTP's there. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know anything of it. See, there, I tell you, we just don't know. We got to ask.
Yeah, and that building had been mostly vacant for
a long time. Yeah, and how long have they been there?
Well, Mid-Atlantic Automation's been there 3 years, I think.
I would love to talk to somebody there. Can you hook me up?
I can hook you up. Scott's wonderful. He's one of our great entrepreneurs that has really been very successful in terms of his growth and development.
Awesome.
And to see the things they're doing, they actually have, they have contract work where they actually design robotic product development,
Right.
as well as assembly lines.
Right. Gotcha.
So they build the equipment to build things.
Gotcha. But you understand why I bring up AI and people's concern.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to take over the jobs and make them less, et cetera. Again, perception versus reality. But there is a place for it.
We're creating a lot of the things that allow growth and development to occur for other companies. And again, that's an incredible product to have here, a incredible company.
That is.
And then on top of that, we have Product Works, the higher education center, our public partner.
Mm.
They also can do short-run manufacturing. They also can do product development from prototype to design. In fact, the trophies that are given out at VIR are actually designed at Product Works.
Right. Are those competitive, the two?
No, I think they each have their own niche.
Right, gotcha. Okay, tell me something else that's coming that's not here. Give us the secret. Come on, just one.
Names of companies. It's something we can't do because it can actually affect their own sales if we did so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
but can you assure me that there's a minimal of 3 big exciting things on the horizon for the county and industry? Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Would you say short term within 12 months?
I would say 2 of the 3.
That's great. So how do you go about announcing these things to the public when you can do it?
Well, and again, the Hitachi was unique because it got announced on CNBC. Yeah, that was an amazing announcement for us. But a lot of times we'll do a ribbon cutting. We'll do a community event where we announce the business happening.
Okay. Is that something you can contact me to cover?
We will absolutely have you.
I would love to do that because that's what I'm trying to do is to bring more information to people to understand what's going on. That'd be great. Okay.
And again, we're basically right now pretty much out of space.
Right.
In the last 8 months, we have leased over 100,000 square feet of space. We have another 40,000 that's going to be renovated to come back into service, where that will be used as well. This building, there's pretty much no space left in this building. There's like 2,000, 3,000 square feet space, but that's it. Mm. So this building is for the first time in a long time back to being built.
Right.
But a lot of these things, you don't announce a whole lot for a small expansion, but you probably should.
Yes.
We try to put some things.
Definitely.
We put some things up in the Board of Supervisors. It was a couple of their meetings that showed some of the growth and development that we've done in the past year.
Now, you guys have live streaming, right?
Yes, we do live stream our meetings.
Okay, and your meetings are when?
We meet on the third Friday of every month.
Okay.
8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m. Okay.
I would generally say it's sometimes about as fun as watching paint dry, but that's okay.
Yes, I've watched some live streams. not necessarily yours, but others, and it's like, at least you can kind of fast forward.
Yes, well, we have a lot of fun. We enjoy, our board does have a lot of great camaraderie and back and forth.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we have a board that can bring up issues and talk, and we can resolve and have great discussions about direction, what we should be doing, how we should be approaching growth and development.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're very transparent with it.
Absolutely, that's the whole point. You want to be as transparent as we're allowed to be.
Yes. Yeah, that's again been another bit of a controversy that where there's the Board of Supervisors has a lot of closed. Do you have closed session meetings at times too?
We have to because we're dealing with
staffing.
Confidentiality.
Oh, right, for a business. Yes. Yeah, that makes sense too.
So we do a lot with that, or with contracts that we have to negotiate before they're announced publicly.
Right, and I think that's a lot of things that just the general public don't tend to understand at times, that there are things because of privacy and confidentiality that it necessitates a closed session. But we do have conspiracy theorists out there.
Yes. Well, the whole thing is to get state benefits, it has to be an unannounced project.
Right. Okay.
Or a certain size of company that can be done without an announcement, like that, no competition. We can't announce before the state announces on a large project if they have incentives into it. Mm. So we have to keep that information quiet.
Gotcha. Do you have family here?
I do not. My wife is still living in Roanoke at the moment.
Oh,
She's
so
a
you're
teacher.
still doing a lot of traveling.
Well, she comes down here.
Yeah.
I usually don't spend much time going up there. She spends most of her time down here for
Right.
weekends.
Right.
And during her summer when she's off from work. But she's got a couple more years, and I think she'll hang it up.
And move here.
Yes.
Children?
My son is a medical sergeant for Roanoke County Sheriff's Office.
Gotcha.
And my daughter lives in, just moved to Springfield, Illinois 3 weeks ago.
Aw.
Well,
How old is she?
She is 23.
Aw, just at the start.
Well, she got a job straight out of college, went down, spent 2 years in
Right.
Mississippi, and then they transferred her now to Springfield, Illinois. She's a programmer, and she enjoys what she does.
Gotcha.
And I think the greatest thing you can give your kids is independence.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And understanding responsibility and consequences. Yes. Well, the reason I'm asking about family is what I'm thinking is how rooted are you here? Are you going to get wandering feet and go back to Buena Vista or something?
I have, since I came here the first time, this has been our residence.
Yeah.
For the last 6 years.
Okay. All right. So
almost 7 years.
So we can count on you to continue to promote growth and economic development.
This is home.
Yeah. Good. What would you say is potentially your greatest hurdle?
The things that keep me up at night. Yes.
Yes. What? Give me an example.
The housing is one of the things that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
It really does. Workforce housing is very key. And when you think about, this is one of the challenges we have here in Halifax, is right now our median household income is right around $50,000, like $50,800 according to the savings rate.
Mm.
When you put that in perspective to the state average of 90,000, national average is 78,000, ability for people to afford to live and to grow and actually see our community thrive, we need to find ways to increase our wages.
Right. Yeah, the poverty level is not declining here for children especially.
And we need to find ways through this industry growth and development to have that occur. Mm-hmm. And the more people we can get to live here, the better chance you have of supporting businesses, the better chance you have of being able to see family incomes rise to a level beyond poverty or even beyond struggle, which is what we really want people to get to.
Right.
We want to see and truthfully, that's how I judge myself, as I look at it from the perspective of, are we seeing increases in wages? Are we going to see growth and development in terms of the number of housing units we have and people living in our community? We've had declining population for several decades now.
Yep.
So we need to find a way to reverse that trend. And part of it is growth. Growth is a key factor in being able to grow and help and industrial development, especially helping people to grow into great roles and great opportunities, because manufacturing pays a great wage. Our last numbers that came out, the average manufacturing wage is $1,006 a week. Mm. So when you think about that, that's higher than the median household income right now that we currently have and it's for one person.
Right, right.
We want to see that trend of that continuing to grow and develop.
Yeah. So what is the best suggestion you would have to the general public for becoming more informed on what you're doing, or even just interacting, because someone may have an idea. You don't have there's only two of you, so you don't have a media person like Ryan.
Our door's always open. And we welcome people to call us. We welcome people to come to meetings. We welcome people to look at the live streams. I will say Evan Sneed does a great job in the paper as well, please, and podcasts like yours. All of these things are very important for you to follow to really understand what's going on in the community.
Do you ever get any public to your meetings?
Very seldom.
Why do you think that is? They just don't know what's going on.
It gets into a lot of technical aspects, and that's one of the things that people, a lot of times will call and talk to us about, because we're getting it. Like I did a presentation a couple of months ago on the housing issue. And what we're doing in terms of trying to address it with the project we're doing. We've actually taken that project now and busted it into 2 phases so that we can actually make it more economically feasible. Because a lot of things that tie into the things, like the formulas for housing development, especially public housing development or affordable housing development, we're using state funding for a lot of the construction of these projects.
Mm.
And they have income limits.
Right.
And our median household income is so low that it affects our ability to get the rent levels where we need to be.
Right.
To be able to make the projects feasible. So we've had to bust some things up and make some things and change some ideas so that we can be closer to that 150% of AMI to be able to really continue to work in that workforce piece. Because a lot of the jobs that are coming in are much higher than our median household income.
Mm. But you have to be trained for it, and you have to have transportation to get there. You have to have somewhere to live, et cetera, et cetera.
But we really want to attract younger people too, so we need
Sure.
different housing options.
Right.
Whether it be apartment living, whether it be, again, how do we build homes in that 200 to 299 range, not the 300 to 500 range.
Right.
How do we make things as affordable as possible for people to get that opportunity to plant roots here in Halifax?
Right. Let me back up just a minute, because you probably said it and I just didn't hear it. When you have your meetings, like at the Board of Supervisors, there's a period of time where citizens can come and address the board.
Yes.
Do you have that
We
in
do.
your meeting? Okay, so if someone came here, there would be a block of time where they could address you or talk about what y'all are doing or ask questions or offer ideas.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. All right. Well, good. I've totally neglected most of my questions here, but it's been so interesting talking to you, Mr. Brown. We probably have covered most of this, to be honest with you.
And see, I love doing it this way anyway, because I think you really get a true understanding of where we are and what we're doing by how we discuss.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add or tell us about the IDA or talk about Halifax County in general? Anything else?
I will tell you one of the great things, one of the great accomplishments we've had so far this year, not just with the industries that are growing and expanding.
Right.
We've created a first of its type partnership with the Dan River Community Foundation of the Dan River to create a child care development fund.
Mm-hmm.
Because child care, we are a child care desert here in Halifax County. So we're now doing this where we're putting together an advisory committee of several industries and leaders in the child care industry so that we can go to the industries and look at pre-buying or buying into the creation of new child care centers.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to have a new center created. We'd love to have it to be, one of the biggest problems we have is second shift. There's no child care for second shift and absolutely none at all for third shift.
Mm-hmm.
But we would like to at least try to address that first and second shift child care needs. When you think about, only 31% of the children in Halifax County get the slots that are available for them. I mean, there are a lot of public slots that aren't being used.
When you say public slots, what do you mean?
There are opportunities for them to get some funding from the state. To get
Oh, right,
child
okay.
care.
Right.
Also, when you think about those 1,350 kids under the age of 5, there's only 700 licensed child care slots.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure there's more opportunities. But by doing it through a nonprofit and being able to help get the building created through industry partnerships, we can keep the pricing point lower for child care development.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one of the biggest problems we hear about child care is affordability, not just availability, but also affordability.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that we have the opportunity for people to be able to afford it when we build those units.
Mm-hmm. Also
working with industries to look at what we can do for pre-tax child care pieces. Just like you have the health savings accounts, there's child care savings accounts
Mm-hmm.
that businesses can use, where you're actually lowering your cost burden, the tax burden, by doing it pre-tax.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And there's also tax breaks for internships. I'm not thinking job care. Now I'm up to the high school level. A lot of incentives, and it's just people need to be aware of it.
Yes.
I understand, because I'm sure there might be some businesses. I've been out and about talking to people that did not know that was available. Like, let's say I have a business. Oh, if I hire an intern, I can not pay this and that taxes. Just communication, I guess, is what I'm looking at.
Yes. And another thing, I guess, success that I would like to think is that housing unit is very, very important.
Mm.
It's one of the first of its type.
Mm.
And to be able to do it the way we've done it with housing, with the housing partner, with the county's partnership.
There hasn't been construction yet, right?
No, we'll be starting construction in 2026.
2026. Okay. Was there something about? It just reminds me of a conversation I had with someone about the height of the building. was a stumbling block or part of why this wasn't coming together?
No, it's
I
been
may be
more-
thinking of something else.
No, what's been with this one has been trying
Density.
to phase it in density levels.
Density, that's what it was.
And we're working with the county to look in terms of what we can do for multifamily densities and things of that nature for the future as well, because we want to make sure it becomes cheaper to actually do the land development. Because when you think about a lot of your cost of of a house now, lots can run anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 a piece because of the requirements necessary and the road frontages and things that you have to do.
Mm.
So if we can find ways to reduce the cost of the lot cost, it can also help reduce the cost of the actual construction of the home.
Right, sure. That would go hand in hand.
So those are the things we're looking at and talking to the county about, looking at how we address. The planning commission will be talking about this as we move forward as well.
Yeah, okay.
So
All right.
again, we're trying to partner as much as we can. We encourage people to ask questions about the IDA. We're definitely here to support the community, and that's our main thing to do is to grow our industry base.
Sounds great. All right, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate
It's
your
been a
time.
pleasure. Thank you.